Hey all, it's Chris from Meats, Beets, and Bubbles, and I am back with you today. I am going to do some pickled jalapenos and carrots. Sometimes like you'll find on the salsa bar in the Mexican restaurants. And I don't buy jarred jalapenos anymore because I love the flavor of these so much. But first, let me remind you to follow me on YouTube, hit that subscribe and like, make comments. And that way when you subscribe, you will get the videos right directly to you. You'll get a notification. And watch them if you like. I hope you find my stuff helpful. You can find me on Facebook. You can follow and like Meats, Beets, and Bubbles. You can follow me on Instagram and also on the blog. That's where you're going to find all the recipes and sometimes some funny videos and things like that. I just really like to have fun in the kitchen. Life's too short. So I'm going to bring you this recipe today. But first, I did a little side video for this tool, but I just wanted to incorporate it in here. So this tool here is, I don't know if it's the technical term, but it's a jalapeno core. I'm sure you can find them somewhere else. I saw it in Aldi when I was shopping, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy it just for this purpose and see how it goes. I don't like one tool for one thing, but maybe I'll do more stuff with jalapenos. So just to let you know, use gloves first of all when you're cutting your jalapenos. But here is pretty much the whole core of the jalapeno out in one fell swoop. Leave it in if you like. That's where the heat is, the seeds and the pith, which is the membrane part inside. And I don't like it that spicy. And so here's our beautiful jalapenos. These suckers were so big, I gotta tell you. I was a bit surprised at how big they were. I'm doing a triple batch today, and it keeps for a long time in your fridge. I've never had it spoil. Just keep it in your fridge. I'm gonna put it in a quart-size mason jar. So I'm pretty much the only one that likes it. John's traditional. He likes the regular pickled jalapenos. Whatever. So anyhow, let's keep on moving on. Okay guys, so I'm going to use the induction burner today because it's just too hard to do the videos with the stove, the way my kitchen is situated. And I don't have a helper, aka John, today, my lovely assistant, sous chef, and hubby. So in here I have some water and some just plain old white vinegar. So equal parts. So with this recipe, I'm doing 1.5 cups. And then I'm gonna put in some kosher salt, because you gotta have that salt in there to balance out that acid. And it's kind of crazy, and that's what helps it to pickle. That was some black peppercorns. And here is some honey. And you can leave it out, totally leave it out if you don't like it, but I like the little bit of a sweetness in there. So, all right, get the last of that out of there. Whoop. All right, I think after this I gotta buy myself some more honey. So let's get all of that off there. With the induction burner, you just need to, or with the acid in here, well, first of all, the induction burner, yes, you need to make sure that you have got one that will use, like, stainless steel works fine in there. But also you want to make sure with the acid that it doesn't have any reaction to what you're making with it. So the stainless works fine in that case. We've got some garlic. We got 6 cloves here, and we've got, I cut back on the onions. I'm only going to do 2 onions. Usually you do an onion per, to 6 jalapenos. I don't like that much onion, and I add more carrots because I really love those pickled carrots. So everybody in the pool, just going to give this a little bit of a stir to get that stuff boiling and all that goodness on the bottom of the pan. This is really quick. The hardest part with this recipe is all of the chopping. I really like to, if I get those bagged carrot coins, And they're kind of ruffled on the edges, so it's kind of cool. I didn't find any this time, so often I'll stop at the 99-cent store, and that's where I will end up getting a lot of my produce. That's where I got these jalapenos. So if you have one in your area, don't be afraid to pop in there and see what they have for produce. And sometimes you can find some really interesting ingredients. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this all get nice and heated through, and it's gonna come to a boil. And I may need to kick it up and add a little bit more of the vinegar and water, but I don't want to mess up my ratio. So the last thing that I want to tell you about is the bay leaves. And I think that is what adds that extra bump in the flavor, the umami flavor that I like so much. If you have an Asian market, you can often find them in bulk, because sometimes spices get expensive at the grocery store. So look for somebody, or if you know somebody that shops there and they are willing to share with you, hey, great, do that. I'm going to continue and let this start to really get hot so we can get the change in the color of the jalapenos going. So guys, here is the finished product here. And you can see, you know, the jalapenos are normally a very bright green, and they've turned to this kind of a khaki green. And that's what happens when they get cooked. The color changes, but it does not affect the flavor. It just means that that's just changed because they've cooked and they're pickled. And the longer this stuff sits, oh my goodness, excuse me, the better it is. So it's got a little bit of onion in there. It's got those carrots and the jalapenos. And I love to have a little bit of a side of carrots anytime I'm having Mexican food. So that's a real bonus for me. I just add extra. Anyway, I will post the recipe very soon. All right, guys. So I am going to sign off here and get this packaged up. And I wanted to remind you again to hit the like and subscribe on YouTube for Meats, Beats, and Bubbles. You can find the blog at meatsbeatsandbubbles.com. That's where I will post this recipe. You can also follow and like me on Facebook and, of course, on Instagram. So tonight I'm having tostadas, and I am very excited because I ran out last week of my pickled jalapenos and carrots called escabeche. So I just figured most people know it as pickled jalapenos and carrots, so you don't have to worry about how to spell it. But anyway, go and do those things, comment, and I will come at you next time with another recipe or a tip or a tidbit or something, one of my favorites. You never know what's going on around here. So guys, have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.